The North Miami CRA's AI and Marketing Summit, hosted by none other than our chairman, Alex Desulme, who's also mayor of the city of North Miami. We'd like to thank you for coming to join us today for a wonderful event where we're going to be discussing the latest trends in marketing and AI as it relates to your small business here today. So I know everybody's still gathering some coffee and tea, but we're just going to get our program started. My name is Annabelle Emmanuel. I do serve as the Executive Director of the North Miami CRA, and I want to take the opportunity to, again, thank you for joining us this morning. In our room this morning, we do have Councilman Kevin Burns of District 1, who serves as a board member of the North Miami CRA, along with our elected city clerk, Vanessa Joseph, and of course, our chairman, who's the mayor of the city of North Miami, Alex Desulme, who I'd like to bring up to make some welcoming remarks. Thank you, Chairman.
Good morning, everyone. It is true, we see everybody here. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to welcome you to the great city of North Miami, and also to our first ever AI Summit right here in the city of North Miami. Yes, that's a clap, y'all. This is an exciting milestone, not only for our city, and I am so proud to see all of you coming out in the rain, despite the rain, to come here. We see so many entrepreneurs, business owners, professionals, taking the time to learn and invest in the future of your business. I want to thank, of course, the North Miami CRA, Annabelle Emmanuel, and the entire staff for putting this amazing event together for my office. Thank you so much, and for all that you do in the city of North Miami. As chairman of the North Miami CRA, I believe that one of the greatest responsibilities is to ensure that our businesses in the community has not only the capital, which is important, but also have the knowledge, the innovation, and the opportunity to thrive. And that is why we are having this particular summit. AI, artificial intelligence, is no longer the future, y'all. It is here. It is here, and every business of every size are using AI only to market, to make market smarter, to serve customers better, to serve time, and also to serve their network much better. The companies that embrace these changes and these tools, they will have the competitive edge as we move forward. That is why we're bringing experts from the field of AI and also marketing. Some of the best minds in South Florida will be talking to you with cutting-edge solutions where your business will learn on how to grow. And they are not only talking about technology. They are here to show you practical tools that you could use and implement today to strengthen your business and to make sure that you could thrive in our community. So I encourage everyone here to call it, well, I don't know if we have time to call it, for we actually full to capacity, to learn, ask questions, and enjoy today. And you are in for an exciting treat. Again, thank you all, and it's my pleasure and honor to welcome my colleague on the North Miami CRA board, Commissioner Kevin Burns, and followed by our elected city clerk, secretary for the North Miami CRA, just to say a few words. Board member.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Chairman. I want to welcome you all here today. This is just one aspect of what the CRA, most people think that we just do redevelopment of properties or businesses, but we try to go a little bit deeper with that. We try to go with how to make your business, once we've gotten you here to the city of North Miami, how to help you go to the next level. How do we make you sustainable? Because operating a business or a shopping center or whatever your business may be is difficult. It's a daily challenges. And especially with technology changing so quickly, and these young kids coming up and can put together, if I want something done on AI, I ask my daughter, and she can do something that takes me an hour and a half. She does it in about 4 minutes, and I'm like, how the hell, how'd that happen? So it's kind of nervous. You got to move forward. And I remember 20, 30, 40 years ago when we were when the internet did not even exist. And if you think back then and where we are today, it's amazing. So our community redevelopment agency is trying to not just help get businesses established, we want to help you succeed, and this is one of the components that we're doing. And I want to thank the mayor for bringing this initiative forward, and of course our dedicated executive director for putting this all together. So enjoy it, hope you learn a lot, and hopefully we can continue these type of summits going on day in and day out throughout the course of the year. Thank you. And I'd like to call right now our elected city clerk.
Thank you so much, Councilman Burns. Interestingly enough, I did not come here to speak. I actually came here to learn alongside each and every single one of you. As a communications and marketing strategist myself, I thought that it was important to learn about the different tools that could be available. So thank you for making this possible, Mayor. Right now I'm in the process of building out a customized platform. So I'm hoping I get access to folks who have those sorts of tools that I can benefit from. So thank you so much.
Thank you all. At this time, I'd also like to recognize elected Councilwoman of Miami Gardens, none other than Ms. Linda Julian. Thank you for joining us this morning. So I do want you to know we have quite an amazing lineup for you this morning. And I do want to also advise that we do have a demonstration, a drone demonstration from the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office. However, given the weather, we will push that to a little bit. We are hoping it improves outside so that we can all go outside and then see that demonstration. But at this time, I'm going to be introducing to you the moderator for our marketing panel, someone who needs no introduction, but I'll be providing one anyway, none other than Ms. Wenda Tima. Wenda Tima is an award-winning Haitian-American media visionary, journalist, entrepreneur, and digital media marketing director from Cap-Haitien, Haiti, with roots in Grand Turk and Caicos. She holds a bachelor's degree in mass communications from Bethune-Cookman College University, and has established a distinguished career in broadcast and digital media. Her journey began with roles at BET Network and her experience at radio and television stations in Daytona and Orlando, Florida. Motivated by her Haitian heritage, Tima launched L'Union Suite in October 2011 to share positive stories about Haiti and its diaspora, focusing on culture, lifestyle, tourism, society, entertainment, celebrity figures, and trending news to challenge negative stereotypes. In December 2011, she co-founded the Haitian American Facebook page, which quickly grew to over 100,000 fans with millions of weekly views. Today, this stands as the leading digital platform for a global Haitian diaspora with hundreds of thousands of subscribers across its website and social media channels. This is exactly why we have her here today, to be able to conduct this panel. Her full bio is included in the program that you have today, but I'd like to welcome Ms. Wenda Tima to the stage.
Did you want me to go up there to do it? Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Ooh. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, thank you. I know we're getting in. They said it was raining outside. The weather's kind of, off a little bit, but we're talking exciting topics today. Marketing is one of my favorite conversations to have, especially social and digital media marketing. And I hope everybody's awake and alert, and I'm ready to ask questions. So I will be moderating the marketing panel, and we have 3 dynamic panelists today. We're going to be talking about what's working, what's wasting time and money, and how small growing businesses can cut through some of that noise. So first up, I'd like to introduce my panelists. So first up, we have Florence Gaspard. Florence is a multifaceted entrepreneur, business strategist, and author, and the founder of Success Leaps Consulting and Flow AI Edge. She dedicates her expertise to assist entrepreneurs, organizations, and leaders in harnessing the power of AI, innovation, psychology, and strategic growth to achieve remarkable outcomes. With a distinctive talent for merging human behavior with business intelligence, Florence empowers others to create flourishing organizations while making it a significant impact in their communities. Renowned for her vibrant energy and hands-on approach, Florence challenges traditional thinking, motivate bold action, and provide audiences with strategies that enhance influence, boost performance, and accelerate growth. Welcome, Florence.
Thank you. Okay,
Your mic's not on? Still working on it. Next up, we have Ms. Jessica Garrett-Modkins. Jessica Garrett-Modkins epitomizes the essence of a true rock star, not just in name, but through her leadership, influence, and achievement. Her extraordinary business acumen, relationships, and ability to move seamlessly across business, government, media, and community leadership have established her as a formidable force across industries and sectors. As the founder and CEO of Hip Rockstar Advertising, Jessica has constantly delivered exceptional results, earning her agency a coveted spot in South Florida Business Journal Book of Lists as top advertisement agencies. Her vision and dedication have also garnered the prestigious Small Business of the Year award from Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Jessica.
thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here.
Last, we have Mr. Moses Roldan. Moses Roldan is a video producer, marketer, and the founder of Modern Rush, a creative production company specializing in content, campaigns, and live experiences across music, fashion, and entertainment. Throughout his career, he has collaborated with brands including Rolling Loud, Atlantic Records, Katsubi, Modelo, Afro Nation, and Reserve, leading projects in video production, event marketing, creative strategy, and content development. He's also worked with artists such as Ski Mask, The Slump God, Rob Banks, and other emerging and established talent, producing visual content and executing creative campaigns that connect with audiences across digital platforms and live events. Welcome, Moses.
Thank you. Before the panel begins, I did forget to let everyone know that on your tables, you have been provided with a QR code. So as you have questions, please scan the code, enter your question, and then we'll be able to provide them to the panelists so that we have our Q&A section. So please use the QR codes on your table to submit your questions for today's panels.
Okay, welcome again, panelists. How are you doing this morning?
We're great.
We're first, so we gotta wake up the whole room. The microphone's working. We do microphone check on everyone. You're good?
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check.
Can you hear me? Mic check, okay.
Okay, perfect. So I like to do, when I do panels, the way that I like to do it, especially since all of us up here have had experience in marketing, is to do it more conversation style instead of kind of like calling out each person. And then some of the topics I'll have specifically for different panelists. So feel free to start and answer a question. And if you'd like to add on to it, definitely do so. And then we'll kind of keep it very conversational throughout the discussion. So starting out, I call it the reality check. Marketing has changed dramatically in the last few years. What is the biggest mistake you still see small businesses making in 2026?
I would say that the biggest mistake that I see small businesses make this year in 2026 is still thinking that you do not have enough money.
Yes.
There is no such thing as not having enough money. AI has provided so many tools that you can use to be able to market to your audience. It has to do with you as a business owner understanding who your target audience is and being able to ask the right question. You can ask AI based off of having no budget, what are some marketing tactics that I can use as a sub shop to be able to continue to market my business to my audience. I'm sure it would say some things like create a rewards program, which would include a frequently purchased sub to reward you with a sub after so many purchases. I know that we have a whole audience full of sub shop owners, so you understand exactly what I'm saying. I'm just kidding, but you get the point. There is no such thing as not having a large enough amount of money to be able to target and market your business. Yes. The idea is your limit is based in your thought process.
I guess my answer would be fairly similar, but I feel it's more of people feeling they don't have enough resources. I've worked with many different companies and they feel as if maybe they don't have enough time or they don't have the capability of putting the effort into things like social media or for different platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. There's so many different avenues of how to navigate these things, but people feel like they don't have the right resources or the right staff. But as she just said, as Jessica just said, something as simple as AI does help a lot with that. The company that I currently do a lot of marketing for right now, their main issue was, it takes them so long to make captions. Something very simple. And just having AI, using AI learning, it allows you to break all that time down that you would use a lot of quote unquote brain power, allows you to minimize that time that you would take and just for other things and other resources.
Florence, as someone that's in AI every day, anything you'd like to add?
No, absolutely. One of the things I noticed that people fail is lack of strategy. We post without strategy, we create our website without strategy, we show up events without strategy, and then you wonder why there's not a high conversion. So strategy means that it helps you go and better understand who your target audience, what their needs are, where they hang out, where they buy. Because just because I hang out here doesn't mean this is where I buy. So these are some of the psychology of your buyers and also what your buyer journey looks like. And so that's what I would say in terms of lack of strategy. And another thing in the marketing streets is that if you're doing business the same way you're doing business 5 years ago and you're still doing business now, you are falling behind. You gotta know how to evolve with time. And that includes investing in yourself, learning, again, AI, because AI is just like I was telling many people, it's like if you buy a phone, you have all these different features, you just play with it. No pressure, just play with the features, just understand it, just show up in conferences like this, just educate yourself, talk to people who already know AI a little bit more. And so when you invest in yourself and you know your strategy, then you can move more concise messages, and then you can increase your conversion rate.
Thank you. So this question, I guess, would be for all three of you. If you can give 3 different things, what is the single most important marketing trend every business owner should understand this year?
I would say build community. If you see what's going on, people are buying subscription, they are creating membership. Look at what's happening in the landscape. You don't really have to go and dig really deeply because it's right here. So when you build relationships, it's posting and making people understand this is how I can serve you, this is the value I provide for you, and guess what? In return, you will then build trust. Then you will then build followers and loyalty from your target audience. So creating memberships, subscription, posting with emotions, pull on their emotional heartstring. I recall like standing somewhere, and where I was behind someone, and they started to get teary-eyed as they pick up a cookie because they realized that that cookie reminded them of their grandmother's kitchen. Something simple as that. So imagine that cookie company was able to tell the story about grandma's kitchen. Imagine being able to sell the feelings. This is what it smelled like, tastes like. So you gotta learn what your senses, your target audience senses and how they respond. And then when you're able to do that, then you incorporate it in your messages. And of course, AI is your best friend, right? Your assistant. Then it could give you strategies and ideas of where to tap into their emotional heartstring so they can get better results from them.
I work in a lot of video production, so for me, I think one of the biggest things is understanding short form content and the levels of that. So with clothing brands that I work with, short form content is anything from a highly produced one to something that is just user-generated content, or even something as like your own, which is still user-generated, but it's from you. You have things where you're actually paying maybe a social media influencer, or you're having your own staff make something short, just introducing, let's say you own a store. I work in clothes, so hey, we're open from this time to this time, something that makes it a lot more personable. It not only draws people in to come to your store, but it draws people to come into your store for the person that is actually behind the camera. With social media influencers, we live in a very impressionable world, so something as simple as having someone with an influence over the specific market that you're in, that makes all the difference in the world, not only from getting your target market, but also educating people about your business that maybe wouldn't have known before. And then on another user-generated way is influencing or maybe setting up programs for people that do come into your store that aren't just social media influencers or your day-to-day customer, like having them maybe come through, hey, taking photos of them, hey, giving them that like your way to give back to them and highlighting their social media on your own and so on and so forth.
I would add that, well, first, for the business owners who are in the audience, raise your hand if you are not on social media.
Good. I like
Okay.
that.
So my one sentence answer to this is collaboration. There is something to be said when you allow yourself to partner with another either customer, another business that does what you do, or someone who you are looking to have a relationship with. You have the ability to collaborate on different posts that you would put on social media. What that's going to do is expose what you're doing to a whole nother audience of people who may not have had an opportunity to know anything about what you do for a business. I see realtors, I see developers in the audience. If you have someone who's moved into your property, developers, if someone has moved into your property, ask them if they would like to collaborate on this post about the property, that they have the keys. It will create a firestorm of people engaging with your business who may not have ever even heard of what you do.
Yes, I love that. And what I would add to that too is something that I've been talking to a lot of my clients about doing too, purposely, intentionally going together to create content or do work together to do a collaboration. Because then you purposely shoot content together, or like you say, if you're a realtor, you go out on, like what they say, a go see together, and then all 4 or 5 people collectively do a collaboration, which now, like you say, has opened you up to all of these different audiences that you wouldn't have been, or it would have taken you longer to get to.
I want to add this. And how much did that cost?
As a collaboration?
Yes.
For the free.
The free. See?
Yes.
No budget needed.
Yes. Yeah. And then collectively, everybody wins. Yes. So brands. So one of my favorite things is like even talking about marketing these days. I feel like back in the day, marketing or companies that work in marketing, we were really just the person that did the job. These days, I feel like we're also now becoming brands in which we have to do our own marketing and how, you know, we sell ourselves and how you presenting the company to keep business coming in more than just focusing on the business side of things, right? So what would you say, anyone can answer this, what separate businesses that people remember from businesses that people simply buy from once?
I would say culture.
Culture?
So I work in a lot of different avenues, but one of the biggest things that I realize is that, especially down here in South Florida, we have a lot of department stores and things that we don't hold much attachment to. Other places, New York, California, Chicago, other markets, they have these pivotal places that have such a strong pull and history to it. We don't have that. We don't have as much, like, for the best example I can give is we have Sunday's Eatery. That is something that, you know, people know for Trick Daddy and things like that, but we don't have strong influence outside of that. We have Aventura Mall, we have these places that we go in and out of. There's not a lot of businesses that we go to and like, hey, we love this store, quote unquote, or we love the clothes that they provide or the service that they bring us, unless we have an actual attachment to like the employees there. But outside of that, we don't have much culture that draws us in. And even the ones that we do, it's very marginalized. It's not anything that, at least for our culture, that's something that is has a strong pull.
Culture. Anybody else want to add anything?
I would add loyalty. So for example, I all of my shopping mostly is online. The ones that get me to come back and purchase are the ones that ask me to come back and purchase. And then, in addition to them asking me, and then I know this is political season too. This is another thing. I'm sorry, I didn't finish my first point, but let me tell you about this. Yeah. When people are running for office, did you ask them to vote for you?
Yes. Yes.
You have to ask. They asked me to come back and purchase a product. And then in addition to them asking me that, they then said, I'm going to give you an incentive if you come back. I'm going to give you 10% off your next purchase. It's not a lot, but I, as a customer, feel valued. There's value in you reaching back out to me, even though I know I'm in a sales funnel. It still just makes a difference. The last point is, I spent a lot, this is what I said at the beginning, I spent a lot of money at this jeweler online. I got the product, I love the product. I was actually thinking about going back and purchasing more. The next few weeks, the jeweler spent time emailing me, asking me to give a review. How about asking me to come back and spend more money and giving me an incentive to come back? So loyalty is my answer.
I like the fact that you said ask, because that's a big theme. And another thing to piggyback is that experience. I'm an experienced person. And how many people who like vow on experience? Anybody experience? Experience drives memorable moments. And so you want to set yourself apart from your competitors, right? So what's the reason people go to Chick-fil-A or buy on Amazon or any other thing? Is like, what is setting your brand apart from all these many brands that have similar faces like yours? What kind of experience, are you, staying engaging with them? Is it a, hit and miss? Is it a quickie sale where, next year you come back and say, hey, remember me? No, not really, probably not, right? So you got to continue to stay engaged, like you say, offer coupons or incentives to say, hey, come back. I would love to see you back. I'll offer this, whatever the reward is. So when we build relationship, because relationship is what keep people intact, then we win their money. Relationship wins money. Relationship wins money. Because you can have somebody who has like 500 followers, and then somebody who has 500,000 followers, and the 500 followers has the bigger budget, has the connection, because of strategy, because of relationship building, because of trust, and knowing where to show up and who to talk to. So it's putting on your thinking hat, and understanding the needs of your clients and who you serve and why they come back. And it also involve them in the why, the big why. For example, when I work with business owners or maybe somebody who's an author, I say, write the story with your audience. You don't have to figure it out. You don't even have to know what that is. You can just throw something out and say, listen, I have an idea, what you guys think? They could be your focus group. So start messy, and as you go on, then you refine your strategy, then you refine who your audience is. Because you might be building something, and then when you throw out the net, it's not who you think you're gonna catch. You're catching another entire group of people. That's the importance of doing your homework.
Thank you. This question I have for, I guess specifically for you, Jessica. With the rise of AI right now, right? What are your thoughts on whether or not is there still room for traditional or what they call old school marketing, like radio, direct mail, newsletters, and things of that sort?
There should never be your thought process where you are not using all options to market. The oldest school, I'm using your terminology, the oldest school of marketing is word of mouth.
Yes.
I said in my previous question, did you ask me to purchase something? So there is something to be said about hearing it on the radio, driving down the street and seeing the billboard asking people to come to your event, support your cause. There's something to be said about sitting on the bus bench and seeing the ad there. Going into the store, picking up the paper, because we still should print paper, even though I know we're talking about going into a digital age, but pick up the paper that has a coupon on it. Statistically speaking, your potential customer is not going to interact with you one time, or 2 times, or 3 times, or 4. It goes up to potentially 13 times being asked a question, being exposed to an opportunity before they will take action. And you can't just do that on social media. So there has to be other avenues in which you prescribe to market your opportunity to your potential customer.
Thank you. So we are going to head over to the Q&A portion. So we have some questions here. And also we're trying to make sure we stay on time. So what I'm going to do with the Q&As is ask the questions, and I guess one person can take each of the questions so we make sure every single one of them, is answered. Question 1 says, how do you use AI to read and manage your data to track success? How do you use AI to read and manage your data to track success?
So in regards to analyticals?
I think that's what they
datas?
might mean, because to track success. I guess let's use maybe social media, I guess, to see how to do it. How to use AI to read and manage your data to track success. I think that could be in any area, actually.
Yeah, because how many people read their analyticals in their social media? See, not very few hands goes up, right? Because that's data.
Yeah.
Just like if you go to the doctors every year, right? They keep a record on you. So when they go back, they could track what's happening. It's easier to track. So data tells you a story, who interacts with your content more, men and women, what age group, where they're from, what bracket of income, like all this data, are they a morning person, night person? All of that is things you can gather, and then when you are creating your content or you're creating whatever you're using to attract people, you can input that, and then this is allow you to create a clear message to your audience because you are using something that they already given you, which is the information. You don't have to necessarily go fish for the information just by reading what that means. And if you don't know, that's why AI is there for. Claude, ChatGPT, whoever you, Gemini, Copilot, whatever you use. And sometimes I pit them against each other, right? So Claude would tell me one thing, Gemini tell me something else, Copilot tell me something else. They were like, oh, this is the best idea, this is the worst idea against each other, but then you still have to use your common sense because you're the boss, and you don't let AI think for you. AI is just a tool. It provides you information. You gather information, then you make the educational decision based on the data you collected to know what's right and what's not working.
Thank you, Florence. Next question says, which AI tool do you believe every small business should start using tomorrow and why? Anybody else want to take that one? An AI tool you believe every small business start using tomorrow and why?
I use everything for the most part. I use Claude, ChatGPT, DaVinci, Video ID, and they have something with Kling. If you don't want to do subscription, you could pay per cent. So like one generation might be 3 cents, 5 cents. So it's out there. If you just Google, different apps, you'll find many that will fit whatever budget you have. Because I know sometimes we try to, not create the subscription, like subscribe to a lot of the services that are out there, but you could pay as you go. But something for video, something for text, something to upload for contracts, something to generate pictures. So just hit all the different information points. And understanding, hey, do my client like to read? Do my client like to write pictures? Look at pictures. Do my client like to look at videos? Do they like to hear, are they more audio focused? So again, it's understanding how your client digests information and then going to the tool and create the content based on how your client receive the information. And many times I find that it's multi-sensory, right? Because what if you have a population of people that's deaf? Did you know that? Did you tap into that? You probably didn't. So that's why it's really important just to do the assessment to see who resonate with your, whatever you're selling with.
Can I add one thing to that? There is also something to be said about you utilizing the platforms that you're currently on. Yeah. So if your website is hosted through Wix, research Wix to find out what AI components and how it can help you. You're on marketing your events through Eventbrite. Eventbrite has an AI component. Constant Contact to send out newsletters. AI is a component of Eventbrite. So you don't necessarily have to go out and search to find new ways to utilize other AI platforms. The current platforms that you're using right now in your business should have an AI component to be able to utilize and effectively use that platform.
This one is one of my favorite questions because I get this a lot, and I still feel like when it comes to AI, this is one of the things that I feel like a lot of people still don't understand. The question says, how do you train your AI agent to maintain your brand voice across channels without sounding like everyone else? And I'm gonna say, aside from sounding like everyone else, sounding robotic.
So, for me personally, I've found that you have to use your AI like it's your assistant. That's how I would tell anyone that doesn't know how to use it. Two things. One, you're not having it skip steps for you. I feel like you have it help you with things that it would take you longer to do. So it's more collaborative. So correct your AI as much as possible. Put your actual voice behind it. I also realized that when you're using AI to do things that you really don't know how to do, it's harder to even put that voice behind it. So it's also good to follow up with research, use things that aren't just AI, or even use your AI to learn about what you're trying to brand or push even harder, just so that if it doesn't sound the way you want it to sound, or if it isn't showing you the things that maybe you aren't the best educated with, it is going to be reinforced through your voice and what you're trying to market.
No, I love that. And I always tell people, like, one of the things that I did, and I even tell people to do it now, on any platform I start off from the very beginning. You guys can chime in on your thoughts on that. You train it, like you say, train it to be your assistant. And before I even get into anything with mine, I start from the very beginning, where I literally tell it who I am. Like, hi, my name is, I do this is what I'm trying to do, this is why I'm going to use you, this is the plans and the goals of what we have here together, and can you pull everything about me you can find on the internet, so we can go over those, and I will correct this part, and this part, so in the future we know how to collaboratively work together. So that has worked wonders for me, in the sense of where sometimes things will come up and I'll literally use my grok or whatever. I'm like, first of all, you know that's not me. That's not information about me. Please double check that based on the memory of what you have about myself. That's just like what small little tactic way of training, your AI apps and stuff to work, for you. So I want to say thank you so much to all three of you for, sitting up here with us. Love your answers, amazing discussion. And I want to make sure that everybody knows how to follow you, or any last words on how to follow you on social media, your websites, and how to work with you if they're interested in talking to you outside of today.
Yes. My handle on all social media platforms is at Jessica Modkins, JESSICAMODKINS. My personal website is jessicamodkins.miami. My company's website is Hip Rockstar, and on all platforms, it's Hip Rockstar, at Hip Rockstar on all platforms. The last thing that I wanted to let everyone know is, I don't know if you've recognized it or not, but there are a lot of things that are going on in the world that you may not personally agree with. But what I see that's happening in the world is that you are the only person who's holding you back. You can do anything that you want to do. You just have to have the nerve to think about it and actually have some actionable items to get there. So don't stop yourself. If anything was stopping you before in this climate, you should never stop yourself from doing whatever it is. So I just want to encourage everybody, and use AI to do whatever that thing is that you always wanted to do.
My social media is, you can find me on Instagram, Moses Emeraldan, MOSESMROLDAN. My website, modernrush.xyz, that will have a lot of my video production stuff. And if you need any assistance with anything from short form content, commercials, branding, photos, events, anything like that, you can always contact me.
Hello, everyone. This is Florence Gaspard. It's Florence Gaspard across all social media. Company name is Success Leaps. Leaping to your success. So is SUSCCESLEAPS.com. I'm actually in the process of building out and expanding out my AI platform, which is Flow AI Edge, because it's geared towards giving you the edge in AI. And so what I do is I work with business owners, I work with organizations and cities in regards to providing educational workshops, marketing services, as well as creating events that educate our community. And I guess the last word is invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to try things outside of your comfort zone, because no one can take your knowledge from you. Once you have that, that is it. You can charge, you can show up wherever you want, because you took the time to invest in yourself. Just like today.
Thank you again, everyone. Thank you for being here. And my last advice is please make sure you talk to all of us before you walk out today if you have any additional questions that we didn't answer. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for staying for our marketing panel. At this time, we will be able to do our demonstration with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office with the drones. So if you look to your back, you see Miss Ebony Nance, who has the light right there. If you all would follow her for that demonstration and come right back for our AI panel, we'll be ready for you in a few minutes. Yes, we're going to bring him up. And take their seats so we can get into our AI panel. AI and your business. So the moderator of our panel is none other than Miss Virgiline Rowland, who serves as our operations manager at the North Miami CRA. She's also the CEO and founder of Vert Simone Images LLC and Vessel and Stone LLC. Ms. Rowland is currently pursuing a doctorate in public administration where her research will focus on using quantitative analysis to develop strategies that build generational wealth, expand opportunity, and create lasting impact within Black and Brown communities. Ms. Rowland brings her experience in economic development, community revitalization, organizational operations, and strategic leadership. A woman of faith and purpose, Virgiline believes the future of innovation, including artificial intelligence, is most impactful when guided by integrity, wisdom, and human-centered leadership. As a public sector leader, entrepreneur, and community advocate, she's passionate about leveraging technology to strengthen communities, elevate businesses and brands, and inspire the next generation of change makers. Please welcome Ms. Virgiline Rowland. Thank you.
It's still morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. I will introduce the three panelists that will join us on stage to complete the business aspect of our AI Summit event. First, I would like to welcome Ms. Vivian Oladan. Vivian is an author, entrepreneur, and mom. She is the CEO of Flourish Media, a marketing membership based in Miami, Florida. She and her husband are angel investors in a breast cancer pre-screening device called Pink Luminous Breast. Her nonprofit received a proclamation from the Miami-Dade County naming Behind the Leaf Day, February 21st, for integrating AI prompt engineering training to over 300 small businesses. Her work has been seen in USA Today, Forbes magazine, the Miami Herald, and more. Vivian has a passion for helping women get to the money faster. Years ago, Vivian and her co-founder raised over $15 million to support women in business through an annual conference called the Flourish Media Conference. This two-day matchmaking event connects minority women business owners with angel investors, banks, and alternative funding solution. Again, Ms. Vivian. Next, we would like to introduce Mr. Charles Smart. Charles Smart is the founder and CEO of Met AI Block, an AI firm that helps enterprises, small businesses, and franchises put AI to work in practical, everyday ways. They strategize, orchestrate, build AI solutions, and drive AI adoption. Before this, Charles spent more than 15 years in enterprise data governance. He led the GDPR rollout for Carnival Cruise Lines across all of its brand and built AI governance framework for companies like Macy's, CVS, and Maestrid? Okay. All right. Today, MedAI Block is the official AI partner of the International Franchise Expo, and his agency has trained teams ranging from national banks to the government of Jamaica. His mission is simple: make AI clear, safe, and genuinely useful. And then finally, we have Mr. Timothy Stafford. Dr. Stafford is a futurist, educator, researcher, author, and AI strategist with more than 35 years of experience in K-12 education, corporate learning, and higher education. He served as director of the Office of Graduate Education and Research and director of the Graduate and Online Academics Affairs at St. Thomas University, where he also leads academic programs in instructional design, digital learning, and applied artificial intelligence. Dr. Stafford founded the RU Institute and the RU Institute Learning Labs and has created several AI-powered platforms designed to strengthen learning, professional performance, and organizational decision-making. A 2024 TEDx speaker, his work focuses on making artificial intelligence practical, ethically and accessible for educators, leaders, entrepreneurs, and organizations. He is a highly sought-out international speaker, teacher, and consultant, and has authored 6 books, and applied AI in the marketplace, AI ethics, self-determined learning, and others. He is honored to participate as a panel for the AI in Your Business discussion at the North Miami CRA AI and Marketing Summit. So I will take my seat. All right, with a show of hands, how many of us in this room are business owners? Business owners, the business owners that is to come, the one that's still building their business. So everyone here is, okay, so we have a mix of mostly business owners and a few of us that are still launching and putting to works of our business. So I will start the question for the panel. Do we all have a mic? Mic? Okay, great. All right, so let's go ahead and just target the elephant in the room when we talk about AI. And I'll go ahead and start with Mr. Smart. All right, so most of the questions when we talk about AI in business, will AI replace jobs? Will it replace the marketplace? So can you please expound on that just a little bit for us?
The simple answer, that's probably the uncomfortable one, is that yes, it will replace some jobs. It's already doing it. Any job today that is process-based or knowledge-based is potentially at threat right now with AI. However, where you can do something about it is with judgment and human experience, which AI still to some degree lacks. So for things that you need to delegate or things that you need to interpret, that is where you want to invest your time to be able to make sure that you know how to use the tools, because the tools ultimately will be able to do a lot of the things that you can do today if it's process-based or knowledge-based. So it will, but there are things that you can do to make sure that you stay relevant. And one of the key things is making sure that you're using AI.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you with that. response. So the skills that you learned today, so what kind of skills can we learn today? Can you share with the audience that's going to shape in the next 5 years?
So one of the things I think most important is actually a very human skill. And that is the ability to critically think about things, right? Critical thinking is going to be important because I think some of you may, at times, I heard one of the other panelists talking about telling AI to do something, explaining it to the AI system, and then the system forgets or it misinterprets it. And your judgment is going to be a differentiator. So when AI gives you a response, it's going to be really important for people who are able to understand what it means and how to use it. Understanding, interpreting what is hidden and the opportunities that come, because it can do the work. It'll think through the process. But then how do you think through that and figure out how to apply it? So critical thinking is probably going to be one of the most valuable skills as it pertains to thought work with anything having to do with knowledge or process-based work today.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ms. Vivian, I have a question for you. So AI has moved beyond the hype. Everyone's talking about AI. So what is one business problem that every organization, especially our business owners that are here in the room and the entrepreneurs that are still building their platform, what should they consider in solving with AI today and why?
Thank you so much. Can you all hear me? Sorry. No problem. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So one of the things that I think everyone should use AI to do, and if you want to keep in touch, I'm at Flourish Media or at Vivian Olo on all the socials. So if you hear something you like, you can follow along there. So on at Flourish Media Co., we talk about being able to communicate with your AI tool, whether it is Gemini, ChatGPT, or you're using Claude. It's for it to understand what are you trying to achieve with your business. And recognizing that for a lot of people in this room, you're probably underestimating the capacity of what your business could be making. And you don't have the access, because within our Flourish membership, shout out to everybody in the Flourish membership if you're here. We talk a lot about proximity to money and being able to understand how does a big business operate and how can I use that within my business. And so you may not have access to a McKinsey, but you have access to Claude. And you can say, I'm trying to operate a retail business, I'm operating a service-based business, and I would like to achieve X number of dollars over the next 12 months. Can you tell me how are other businesses doing this and what are the top ways that I can implement this in my brand? And I think that that is a way where you're integrating that critical thinking that a lot of people are not doing, but those who are in the Flourish membership and are a part of the Behind the Leaf ecosystem understand that that's an advantage that you have when it comes to large language models.
Thank you. Did you all catch that? All right, business owners, take notes. All right, Dr. Stafford, I have a question for you. So how is AI redefining customer expectation? What mistakes do companies make when implementing the AI-powered customer experiences?
What a great question. Can you hear me okay? Okay. I think the question that you're asking has a more existential answer. And so I don't want to not answer your question, but I think by me saying what I'm about to say, it's going to answer that question and others.
Okay.
And that is that I think that your customers, just like you, don't want to be forgotten that they're human.
Yes, that part.
And I remember when I was a kid, they gave us, my brother, who's younger than me, he gave me a Jolly Rancher. You know what I'm talking about, the Jolly Rancher candies. And it was artificial watermelon. And I love watermelon. I just love it. I mean, I could eat a whole watermelon myself, right? And I popped that thing in my mouth and I just went, oh, that is terrible watermelon. Who ate that and said, yep, that tastes just like a watermelon. It doesn't taste anything like a watermelon, right? Well, we have to always separate, and the work that I do is to try to help people have conversations about separating what's artificial and what's not. And so, although you might be doing artificial intelligence, using artificial intelligence to make things, to analyze data, to help you go to market with something, to write copy, all those things it does well, and these guys have given you great advice. I can't give you any better advice than that, than what they've already given you. But what I can tell you is when that stuff goes out, it's going to real people who have real intelligence. And they know if you're trying to fool them with artificial watermelon or not. They know. And so what your customers are expecting, and you really kind of heard this from the marketing panel too, if you really kind of put it all together, what they're expecting is that you are going to remember that they're human and that their capacity is what you care about. By the way, your workers are going to feel that way too. This is an existential moment for us where we can actually begin to negotiate what it means to really be human and what humans really are valuable for versus what an artificial intelligence can do. But we can never, ever allow an artificial intelligence to speak for us, or we end up marginalizing ourselves. So it's really important that we keep that in mind, whoever we're talking to, and when we send that email that we had Copilot write, we better make sure that we read it, and that we realize that it's going to a human from a human.
Right.
And so what happens in between that is just a helper. That's it. I hope that answers the question.
Yes. That was a great response. And I love how he, even though we know AI is here, but we still need to continue to keep the human touch with our customers, because that's what matters. And marketing earlier did touch on it about how Ms. Modkins mentioned the loyalty and connecting, and how she simply just receiving an email of come back and spend with us. All right, so I have another question, and feel free, whoever would like to answer this. Many of our organizations are investing heavily in AI. So how should a business leader measure success beyond simply by reducing costs? Go ahead, Mr. Smart, you can have that one.
So, one of the things that a lot of companies, a lot of the larger companies especially, are realizing is that there is this hype that AI is going to cut cost. And there was a report that just came out by Anthropic. It's Anthropic's economic index that has been tracking the use of AI across different industries and functions. And what they found is that cost was one of the lowest return on investments that you get from implementing AI as of now. What you are going to be measuring your AI, and I'll kind of talk through it a bit. There are kind of 4 areas that you're going to get. You're going to get speed. You're going to do what you're doing faster.
Right.
Okay? You're going to be able to do what you're doing better. That's quality. And you're potentially going to be able to do more of what you want to do, which is scope. And finally, it's going to create capacity. So I want you to think about those 4 things before you think about how much it's going to cost. And the reason I say that is the capacity is really the big one. Speed creates capacity. Scope is capacity. Quality can also create capacity. And that capacity is, it used to take me 15 minutes to do something, or an hour to do something, and now I can do it in 5 minutes.
Right.
What are you going to do with that extra 55 minutes, right? That's the first part that I want to talk about. The second piece is the cost is real. A lot of us I know want to use AI for free, and there's tons of free AI. But when you really want to leverage it to replace and do work for you, right? We are not in the stage of AI where we can just talk to it and it provides input. We're at the stage with AI where it's actually able to do work for you. And in order for it to do work for you, it has to learn your workflows. And there's an inertia that happens. And that inertia is when you take the AI and you put it with the expert and you try to get the expert to teach the AI what it is that the expert is doing. You don't take the AI and get rid of the expert because the AI doesn't know how to do what the expert knows how to do.
Right.
So you are paying twice for the expert and the AI until the AI can do what the expert is able to do. And that's the inertia. And most companies are not getting past that inertia fast enough. So they're seeing an increase in the cost of use of AI because they haven't arrived at the point where it's actually able to do work for them. So cost is not the measurement, because when the agent and the AI learns how to do it, it's going to do it faster, better, and more than the expert that taught it.
That's great. That was great. I would like to add just one thing to that, which is, as a small business owner, but I talk about this with middle managers all over the United States, so even in big businesses, your goal should not be, this is a shocker, but your goal should not be to save money with AI. That should not be your goal. Your goal should be to invest in human capacity. Your goal should be to invest in human capacity, meaning you should be training people, you should be investing in them so that they can begin to understand how to do the work of humans better than they've ever done it before using these tools and others. Right. The fact is that if you can save some time, if you'll spend the money and can save some efficiencies, then you can then invest that time and money into people who can then become the best, a very much better, anyway, version of themselves for your company. And that's ultimately going to make your company better, which means that you're going to end up making more money. But money can't be the focus all the time. You have to focus on the fact that human capacity is what the real opportunity is here. And as I talk to people all over, it's always about jobs that are going to be lost and money that can be saved and how it's all going to go to the corporate structure. And all of that will happen unless we begin to have conversations about human capacity and what our responsibility is now that this has arrived and what it can mean for expanding human evolution. That's really what this is about. And I know it sounds like I came from the classroom, I know. But the reality is that if we don't have the conversations, then we will invent all of the gadgets and leave a lot of people marginalized. So we have to have the conversations that say, what are we going to do to make sure that humans thrive at the next level? And we have to be willing to put money, resources, time into them. And that's going to take some concerted effort and decision making on our part. So there's nothing wrong with spending the money on AI and making your processes efficient and all that. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't do it at the marginalization of other people. Invest in the people then and make sure that they understand how to become the better version of themselves going forward.
For me, I became an entrepreneur because I wanted time freedom. I did not become an entrepreneur because I wanted to get rich. I literally wanted to be able to afford a house. And I was told that if I didn't increase my income, it was going to take me 20 or 15 years to be able to buy an efficiency in Miami. And that's real. Now, I now have 6 different streams of income, and I'm a multimillionaire, and the reason why I'm able to do that is because of efficiency and being able to use technology effectively.
That part.
Thank you. And for me, when I look at myself as a small business owner, because I do not thrive, I don't want to have a business that has lots and lots of employees. I don't want to become a not small business owner, what is it, 500 employees plus is when you become, which is so crazy. But that's not a goal of mine. But my goal is for the people who work for me to be able to live a similar lifestyle than I live. And so in running my business and celebrating 10 years this year and receiving the proclamation, thank you, receiving the proclamation from Miami-Dade County, this same year, I have staff members who have gotten married. I found out one of my staff members was in Dubai for half the year. I was like, oh, for real? You was just living. Others that are putting their kids through private school, and they are not working harder, they're working smarter, Mr. Smart. And so they, you know, what they're doing, and what I did in my small business is I took the time to have my entire team trained on AI, on large language models, for them to understand that this technology is not writing for you, it's a predictive model. It's literally just taking everything it's ever seen on the internet and it is guessing at what the next statement will be. But what you must know is that I don't speak like you speak. You don't speak like he speaks. My business doesn't operate like the next person. So if you don't take the time to set a foundation when you're working with large language models for them to understand what are the SOPs in your business, what is the next step, what is the way that I would say this thing, then that tool is never going to work at the level that it could for you. And so when you're, as a small business owner, deciding how do I want to implement AI, it is true that if you implement AI without a solid foundation of understanding how your business operates and what kind of goals you want for that particular business, you are only going to be spending money on subscriptions. You're going to have a subscription for Lovable, one for Claude, one for ChatGPT, you have another one for Opus Clip, you have another one for this, another one for that. Next thing you know, you're spending 4, 5, 6. I've seen, I own a marketing agency, so I know marketing agencies that are spending $15K a month on subscriptions. That's crazy. That's a human. And so for me, I would rather be a job creator than focus on using AI for the sake of using AI.
Thank you for that. We also would like to acknowledge our City of North Miami City Manager. She is here in the room. Thank you for that. And you was leading right into the next question. So you can start off with this. So large enterprises often dominate the conversation when we're talking about AI. And like you said for yourself, you're a small business owner. So what practical advice would you give the other smaller business owners that's here in this room, or mid-sized businesses that wants to leverage AI but have limited resource?
So raise your hand if you're using AI right now. You're using a large language model in one capacity or another. I'm going to challenge you to ask your AI this question. You've been working with me for a while, and you see the type of questions that I'm asking you. Show me what are the gaps that you notice based on my questions and how I can improve. You've been watching me ask questions for a while. Give me the gaps that you notice in what I've been doing and the areas in which I should focus to correct them. As a small business owner, what I mentioned before is that you don't have the option typically of having a consultant, someone coming in and looking at your business. Because a lot of us are not going to tell the truth anyway. If you have therapy, it takes a little while to start telling the truth when you talk to your therapist, depending on how cuckoo you are. And so, you know, when you are talking to your AI, and we've done the training, Flourish Media has had training directly with OpenAI, and they told us that the #1 way that people use AI is for therapy. They're communicating with it, giving it all of their secrets. And if that's true for you, then that means that some of the habits that you have in a personal life, I'm sure they are showing up in your business. And so as you are communicating with this large language model, remember, it is not sentient. It is just predicting what it has seen on the internet. It is taking all this information. It is not real, okay? It's not a human. And so what it's going to do then is be honest with you. So I'm on the board for a nonprofit called Biz Leaders. We have a beautiful woman, her name is Astrid, who actually brought IKEA to the United States. We have Ingrid Gonzalez, who is the lead for Google Gemini. And being able to communicate with these people on a very high level, one of the things that they pointed out to me was small business owners don't often know how excellent they actually are.
Right.
And for that reason, you're dealing with imposter syndrome, or you're not bragging about the things that you've been able to accomplish in a way that attracts more business. And you're not speaking about your business as incredible as it is. But when you have that AI repeat back to you, to show back to you, this is what you've been able to accomplish in relation to other businesses just like yours, believe me, you will be gobsmacked by how amazing your business is. And it'll put you in a position to, put your shoulders up,
right,
and speak with more confidence and go after different opportunities with the city, with your local municipalities, with other businesses to grow in ways that you probably wouldn't have done before.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you for that encouragement. Gentlemen, Mr. Smart, Dr. Stafford, would you like to add to that?
I think the only thing I would say there is, one of the key pieces to get AI agents to really respond to you and to be useful in an ongoing basis, I'm going to give you guys just a practical way to do that. Claude is predominantly a file-based system, okay? So in Claude, if you've been working in it, you may see it creates these markdown files, right? These .md files, if you've used it. If you haven't, encourage you to just ask it to create a file for you. And those files are, everything that Claude is doing is basically looking at those files along with its base intelligence to figure out how to respond to you. And if you want it to always remember who you are, what your business is, what you do, create a markdown file with that and tell Claude to add it to, now you guys can write this down, add it to your Claude.md file. Tell it whatever you want it to always remember, and then tell it to add it to your Claude.md file. This is going to give Claude a way to be able to build a brain around the things that you never wanted to forget, right? So that brain is one of the key components that large organizations are creating at scale to be able to remember all their workflows, all their processes, so that they never forget. And what that gives them is not generic AI output, but customized output specific to their business. And what I just told you is a very simple and free way for you to do that within Claude.
Thank you. Thank you. Please give my panelists a round of applause. We're going to go into the question and answer section of this summit. And Dr. Savard, you have a question specifically for you.
Okay.
Students are increasingly using AI to generate assignments and simply copying and pasting the result, especially in full online courses. Why are universities focusing on AI benefits instead of addressing these challenges that affect critical thinking?
It doesn't matter where I go, I get this question.
You can't run from it.
The reason why I'm here is because one of my students turned in a paper written by AI 3 years ago. And so while all of my colleagues were running away saying, this is the craziest thing ever, I ran toward it and I started to ask, what is this? And I started to do the work that I'm doing now. It's a great question, and it's not an easy answer, but I will tell you this. There are conversations that we have to have with students, which we're trying to have with them, and they sound like this, that if you use artificial intelligence to speak for you, then do not be upset when it replaces you. You're marginalizing yourself. I mean, you can't do that. I mean, you can, but then don't be mad when it happens, because you're letting it speak for you. I've authored a thing called the Hi-Ho framework. I've gone all over the place talking about it. And Hi-Ho stands for human input. Then the dash is everything that the AI does, and all the things that they talked about today all go into that dash. It isn't just using one engine, or if you're stacking engines, or if you're using particular codes, or whatever you're doing, all of that goes into what the AI is going to produce. And then the HO on the other side is human oversight. So now we have the human flowing all the way through the framework, and we're not marginal. If you just put something in and willy-nilly, and you don't really think about how you're going to prompt the AI, well, then you're marginalizing the human, because it's not going to give you the right output. If you don't know about what's going on with the AI itself, then it's going to be marginalizing the human. If you don't oversee it, and you don't determine what you're going to do with it, and you don't make decisions, you just cut it and paste, then you're marginalizing yourself. So the problem is that, and the way I can answer this question easily is, there's no way for us to catch it faster than it's being developed. So, at the beginning, there was the hope that there would be an algorithm that caught the algorithm. Well, that's not working, because it's learning too fast. And so what's happening is that most of my colleagues are choosing to make this punitive and transactional. And what we really need to do is figure out how to make it transformational by saying, look, it's the same thing I keep coming back to over and over. You have to understand how this can make you better. How it can make you, and it could be that it makes you faster to do things or whatever, but it's going to make you better. It's not going to make you replaceable. And what happens in the mind of people is, I don't want to do this, therefore I'm willing to have somebody replace me to do it.
Wow.
Remember back in the day when, we had our girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever, write our papers for us? This is the same thing, except that person was really intelligent. Humanly, right? This is a math problem. You're basically having an algorithm write a paper for you on botany or whatever. And so you're replacing yourself. And where that's going to play itself out is when if you've gone to undergrad and you have had AI write all of your papers in botany, and then you go get a job as a botanist, you suddenly are hit with the reality that you don't know anything about botany. And that unless you have ChatGPT by your side, you're not really a botanist. So in fact, you've become an artificial intelligence. It's replaced you. That's the key that we have to talk about with students. So yeah, you know what? It's shiny object syndrome right now for universities. I speak at a lot of universities. We got to get out of the shiny object syndrome, But I will tell you this. We're going to get hit with this hard at the university level and at the K-12 level if we don't let it renegotiate what we do for assessments, if we don't renegotiate what we do when we make courses and how we're going to do content, how we're going to have the students interact with information. We have to change the way that we do things now, and we're going to have to embrace that change. And I just want to tell you guys something. You may not know this. I'm being facetious, but you may not know this, but educators don't like to change. So it takes a long time for us to change. But you know what? It's okay. because we're pushing it and we're pushing it. So what you see on the outside is not necessarily what's happening on the inside. And internally, we're pushing this stuff really hard to have these conversations and to stop making it so punitive. Because the truth is, we're not going to get rid of it, and we're not going to be able to just catch it. And we're not going to be able to just say, well, you know, that's it. We're just not going to stop. We're going to stop using it, because if we do that, then we really have marginalized them for the workplace.
Okay. Thank you so much. We still have time. Okay. Question. Either you all can answer. Is there a way to clone yourself using AI to converse with your clients when you're not available? Or if there's a tool out there that we don't know of?
I would say there's a wonderful tool called Avatar Buddy. It is created by Stephanie Silvestri, and she's wonderful. The program is amazing. It allows for you to take the information that you have existing online, and you're able to put that into her program, Avatar Buddy. You can go and look online, Avatar Buddy. I believe it's avatarbuddy.co. Or if you're on LinkedIn, you can look up Avatar Buddy. There's a woman in our community, she created a voice reception, an AI receptionist. It's called PostBot. I use it right now. You call my office number. It is taking the information that we did together as a community in the Flourish membership and pulling from that very particular information. So it's custom information. It's not just what it finds online.
PostBot.
Postbot.us. And you'll be able to replicate your voice, and it can answer the phone for you, which is really cool.
Okay, so I'm glad Ms. Vivian just mentioned Stephanie Sylvester. She will be live streaming via Zoom. So for that, the person who asked that question, yes. So please stay with us. She'll be here to answer a few more questions, okay, on that. And another question from the audience. As a lot of people keep moving to South Florida, I'll just read it. Did you implement specific strategies to target the newcomers, people that may not be familiar with the local culture? So as people are coming into South Florida, is there any new implementation through AI, any that will be able to welcome them and target the new comers that's here for businesses? I'm assuming it's geared to his business.
Yeah, I personally don't know anything specific that's specifically developed for people coming to South Florida and leveraging AI. The cool thing about AI, it's completely borderless. So it doesn't matter where you are geographically as long as you have an internet connection. So the technology and the capabilities are pretty much available to anyone. If you can go and sign up online for a subscription to Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini, you can literally have access to that same capability anywhere you are.
So I can answer that. Flourish Media has had the honor of working with the GMCVB, which is our Greater Miami Visitors and Tourism Bureau. Whoa, I remembered it. And so one of the things that we worked on was helping small businesses to attract tourists to their business, meaning that if I'm in Switzerland or if I'm in Jamaica or if I am in Colorado and I'm visiting South Florida, I want people in those very specific areas to put me on their list of something that they want to experience. So you might have a restaurant or you have some kind of attraction and you want them to use your thing. So this is a practical thing, so you can write this down on a way to do this. LLMs are picking up information that exists online, which means that you have to put information about yourself online, which means you can write articles on Medium, on Substack, on LinkedIn about your business and the fact that you are the go-to place for tourists when they come to South Florida. And so you can do this yourself in volume because you're using an LLM and write multiple articles about yourself. It's the same thing that we would do for SEO. If someone's going to do SEO, search engine optimization on your website, you create that information so that when someone is using a LLM, For example, a friend of mine, we took a picture of ourselves during FIFA World Cup. We had on our jerseys. We said, ChatGPT, tell us where we should go have drinks today based on what we have on. And it literally gave us a list of restaurants, and we had a great time. So you can do that in your small business in that way.
That's actually really, what you just mentioned, that you just touched on it, you kind of browsed over it real fast, but it's super important today because people are searching and using Claude and ChatGPT to find businesses, to ask questions. And I'll give you a free one to go and do this for your own website. Go inside of Claude ChatGPT. Tell it to examine your entire website. Give it the URL. And then tell it to create an LLM, that's LLM.txt file, and put it on your website. What is that? Large.
Repeat it, please.
The name of the file is an LLM.txt. So you're telling Claude or ChatGPT to examine your website, which is all of your services and all of your information. You could even tell it to research you and find out more information about you online. And then take that information and create an LLM.txt file. You're going to take that TXT file, and if you manage your own website or you have your web hoster, whoever is hosting your website, tell them to place that file on your website under the root directory. Don't have to know what a root directory is, just write it down. Tell them to put it under the root directory. What that's going to do is, when large language models are scraping the internet, that is the file that they look for to understand what is going to be, how relevant you are, right? So it increases the chance when someone is searching for your services that your services will show up as an option inside of Claude or ChatGPT.
If you heard that, would you want a workshop on something like that, on that specific thing, like a 30-minute workshop virtually? Raise your hand if you'd want that. Okay, take it into account.
Take notes. All right, so thank you so much, Dr. Stafford, Vivian Oladon, and Mr. Charles Smart. I know they drop a lot of gems. I hope you all was taking notes, so thank you so much.
Let's give them another hand, y'all. This was so insightful, as well as the other panelists on marketing, but this was so insightful. And yes, we're gonna team up and we're gonna work with the CRA. We're gonna offer that free, so be on the lookout for that free virtual. I think it's so important, and you guys are giving folks concrete things that they could go back to the office and use, and that's what we wanted to deliver. Again, thank you so much. We'd like to recognize, I know you're standing up, say hi, Teresa, our city manager, Teresa Terrellis. And I think John was here, the deputy city manager, and some other staff. But again, thank you, CRA. This is great.
We're going to do pictures. So before we continue on to lunch and our keynote, we're going to be acknowledging James from the Drone School, who's going to be doing a presentation. So please direct your attention to the screens as they do a drone presentation.
Was the tape for you? Yeah.
The screen where there was the temperature of the room. So that's one of the things drones are doing right now. As you saw the drone police out there that is doing safety while everyone is here, making sure that there is no one trespassing. So drones are doing that in different places, different locations. The cell phone came out 50 years ago, right? And everyone has a cell phone, everyone is doing something with a cell phone. Now drones are going the same way, the same route. Drones are gonna be implemented in everywhere, in every situation, every location, every event. is going to be watching for you, for your safety, that everyone is okay, that nothing's going to happen in the area. So if you ever think about drones, please dig in a little bit, investigate what are the opportunities out there, what's happening in the industry, and you will see that there might be something that you can be helpful, useful in this industry. IKEA is using drones for in the warehouse for inventory. So if anyone has a warehouse, they can use a drone because drones are being used for inventories in warehouses. And soccer events, even though the just FIFA event that just passed, there were 600 fines to people that they were flying drones without knowing the law, without knowing the regulation. So please be aware that we have to follow laws and regulations when we fly a drone. There are fines. There are $1,500 fine, and they go up to $75,000. So before you fly a drone, you need to have a minimum requirement of a recreational license. That one is free. It can be done from home. If you need help, feel free to reach out. We are sharing the table with North Miami, and I want to thank North Miami for this initiative to be supporting the drones. That they are helping so much in the industry. We are doing a once a year program where North Miami are providing the class for the community. If you guys ever need help, reach out to the city. They will give you more information about it. Thank you.
One moment. Hello, Madam Keynote. Are you able to hear us? Wonderful. I'm going to begin your introduction in a second, so everyone is taking their place. Okay. You want to fix that part? Thank you. All right. So Stephanie Sylvester is a strategist and storyteller who sits at the intersection of AI, marketing, and human behavior. She's a co-founder and CEO of Avatar Buddy, an AI solutions company to help organizations eliminate bottlenecks, not people. Known for her human digital handshake philosophy, she designed AI solutions that free teams from manual, interrupt-driven work so they can focus on planning, dreaming, and innovating. Her experience spans work with government, corporate, and mission-driven organizations that need safe, simple, fast ways to adopt AI without losing their voice or their values. At the North Miami CRA AI and Marketing Summit, Ms. Sylvester will share how to move from AI anxiety to AI impact with practical, people-first strategies any leader can put to work. As you all have been doing throughout the entire session, please use your QR codes to go ahead and submit your questions for Ms. Sylvester. She'll be taking Q&A after her keynote. Ms. Sylvester, thank you.
So good morning. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I appreciate the flexibility. I feel like we are experiencing how to spend time with AI and spend time more specifically with technology. So I come to you from Belize. I have been here for the last few days presenting at a tech summit, and what we were doing was talking about how to manage our time to do more. And so I'm just going to keep on that scene and just kind of go into how I believe that AI can help small businesses get to the next level. So when you think about AI, there's so many different types of AI that you can think about, right? You can think about AI from the perspective of driving a car. You can think of AI about licensing he created a marketing AI engine. And we actually this marketing AI engine after this gentleman named Howard Coleman. And Howard Coleman is a premier marketer and also runs a incubator for startups. So he understood what we were doing, and he was a great marketer. So what did we do? So first we did was we captured Howard's personality, and then Howard loaded the AI with all his writings that he uses about business development, about marketing, about sales, and we were able to take that AI and help us go to the next level. So before we had this marketing AI, we were struggling with what the messaging was. We're a company, our brand messaging was everyone needs money. And that's kind of cool and it's cute, but did not resonate with people. Still didn't understand what we did as a company. People didn't understand how we went about helping other people. And so then we started evolving and we said, make AI work for the world. That still didn't have any resonation, didn't resonate in because people were like, what is that? Then we decided to use the marketing that was passionate after Desulme, and he came up with the concept of eliminate bottlenecks on people. So once he had that concept of eliminate bottlenecks on people, that started to make a lot of sense. And we started testing the concept of eliminate bottlenecks on people, how does this resonate? We tested it at Emerge, we tested it in South Africa, we tested it at the National Restaurant Association, and across all of these diverse groups of people, it's made resonate well. So we already had some existing marketing slogans. We had everyone needs the money, we had save, simple, and fast, we had human digital chemistry, and then we had eliminate bottlenecks on people. And we said to AI, we said, we want you to create a marketing campaign around eliminate bottlenecks on people while maintaining all of the other AI, all the other slogans that we have. So sat there and I talked to it, and what it did was it gave me a 50-page document were very concerned about AI. panelists with great insights, and I do hope that you leave this session not overwhelmed but excited, and that you do carve out at least 2 hours next week to sit down and figure out how to use AI in your marketing strategy for your company.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sylvester. We are so grateful that you actually made the time to take out of your actual schedule in a different country to be able to be our keynote today. So we want to thank you. We do actually have a token of appreciation here for you, but when you're back on stateside, then we'll make sure that we get that out to you. So thank you so, so much. I believe that the audience was very grateful for everything you shared.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye.
And with that, we are concluding our North Miami CRA AI and Marketing Summit for 2026. I want to give you all a round of applause for attending. For our panelists who are still in the room, thank you so much for joining us for the entire day. And hopefully you all will engage with us. For more information, please follow up. We're going to have more of these kinds of series coming out. So thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.